guys.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome back. Smash the Record, speedruns. We're doing Castlevania Symphony of the Night Zero Boss category, which is, if you saw the glitchless run that I did earlier this year, this is the opposite of that. So we're going to be doing
It's pretty much every glitch you would never know about except for this category.
Yeah, this category doesn't share a whole lot of glitches with any of the other ones, like maybe a few for pacifist. But nonetheless, we're starting with the luck mode code because I have to play in luck mode. So yeah, we're ready when you guys are. On timer, right? Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, so this is Symphony of the Night. We're starting off playing as Richter because that's how the game works. Technically, this isn't a boss. I don't know how we defined the bosses.
Yeah, I mean, I think another way to look at the run is that you don't need to beat any boss in the game except for intro Dracula and ending Dracula.
So it's Dracula,
only run. But yeah, it's kind of like similar parallel that at least I compare with is Super Metroid has like the reverse boss order run. It's kind of like an interesting run where you have a lot of cool tech with the game, but you don't ever see it other than that one category.
He did the job. He's not supposed to do that. Oh well, that's fine.
It's fine. You have 5 less, or no, you don't have any less HP. You do luck mode codes, so you actually have set stats. You have luck, max luck, but then a very low amount of HP and low stats otherwise. So he's actually going to abuse that for a mechanic coming up when he does a damage boost off of a warg.
Yeah.
Where if you lose half of your HP or more, half your max HP in a single hit, then you're going to go flying like crazy.
It's coming up right here.
Yeah,
So I'm setting up my...
you're on the first warg, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right. You're doing it on both.
I reset I did a new experience route, so... that's too many bats. I'll fix it.
It is a fixable problem.
I'm just going to be opening
the pot roast,
yeah.
so...
you
do that twice. So the first one was to get you through that first room quicker. This one skips the death scene entirely, so you're able to keep all of your stuff. And he's actually a bigger benefit is that he doesn't level up, so he's actually able to get a level up pretty soon for another skip.
Yes, this is true. I forgot to re-equip the sword, so I'm punching these guys to death, but it's fine. The Cube of Zoe spawns items and candles, so that way I can get a... I'm going to be using a throwing dagger. You can use literally any sub-weapon. It's for a later skip. Let me go ahead and get that.
And a common thing with this game that people will bring up is like, oh, how do you backdash so fast? Well, he's actually canceling all of that with the shield button. You can cancel the backdash at any point with a shield or a weapon, but the shield has a very quick animation, so...
I have to do some quick
he's
math.
He's trying to time a level up.
Perfect.
So that it is at a perfect spot so he can do the next skip. Solgar and Gaibon is usually the next boss, but you can skip them through this elevator.
I'm saving here because this trick is like pixel specific, frame specific. I kind of have a setup for it, but there's no real way to set up for it, so I'm just going to go for it. And if I fail, I have to reset because grinding for another level would take a while. And you actually can't get too many levels in this run or else some of the skips don't work. So that's fun.
All right, here we go. He's pause buffering to try and make sure he has the backdash on the correct frame. Oh.
My setup there was... I just missed the execution on it, which there shouldn't be execution. I just did something fancy that I didn't need to do. I tried to cancel the backdash with a sword so I didn't fall off the ledge because climbing back up can be annoying, but it doesn't ruin the trick. But not getting the backdash actually ruins the trick. And I'm pretty sure I wasn't on the right aligned pixel. So
what he's attempting to do with this glitch is...
that should work.
That should work. All right.
Okay, and I actually got it.
Yeah, when he backdashes there out of the level up, it underflows his position on the screen, so it's reading like instead of you should spawn on the left side of the next screen transition, he actually spawns on the right side of the next screen transition. So it's effectively a screen skip.
Yeah.
The only other time you should see this in this run, I think, is the ending skip, right?
I think so, yeah. Everything else is just regular shift lines. That's known as a reverse shift line because it kind of does the opposite of what a shift line would do, kind of. Like you set it up in an opposite kind of manner.
Yeah. So
during that hallway, since like the elevator's coming up, I just pretend it's a DS-vania so I can do like quick slashes. Because the gravity in this game for like Alucard is a lot floatier.
Those 5-pixel quick slashes.
Yeah. My experience is going to be slightly off from what I'm used to, so I will be opening the menu a lot more than I would normally. Oh, I never double kill those guys. I have no clue how much experience I have right now.
So the reason why experience is important is because most of these early glitches that he's going to do depend on a level up happening at an exact point on a screen. So if he doesn't have the level ups matching up with where he expects them, like that's just going to completely ruin the trick.
I need to have exactly 4 experience or less. Well, exactly at that point. Okay, I'm on the right level up at least, so I just need to skip probably like a handful of enemies.
I mean, you could also pause and see where you are.
Well, I don't have to pause until later because
like
I don't know exactly how much experience each enemy gives me, but I know how much I should have by the time I get to the end of this section. So I should... Oh, morning set, that's so good because it gives me a little bit of leniency on another big toss coming up later. I skip this guy normally, so...
In most categories, that drop is horrible.
Yeah. I'm going to skip this skeleton too. I actually don't want the Bible. It's not a good sub-weapon for here. 107, I think Here's what we're going to do. Going to skip this guy, kill this guy. 11. Okay, I'm going to go back.
Yeah, you need one
just for
more,
safety,
right?
yeah. I need to kill him twice, actually.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, twice. And we're back on track. Everything's like normal, kind of. We just wasted a lot of time, which means I might miss a clock rush. In this game, the clock room that we need to go through in order to progress opens every other minute. So we might have to sit there and wait for a minute, but that's better than not being able to do the run. So another fun mechanic is when you cast spells, you get invincibility, so I'm using that to get through these guys. It's a lot of invincibility. It's like half a second or something. Same with using potions and level ups sometimes, right? Do level ups
level ups give me invincibility as well.
I knew there was something I was about to forget. I'm going to do another save here because this next section is kind of brutal. It's like 2 tricks that are kind of spread out, and one's frame perfect, pixel perfect, and the other one is a little less tough, but if I fail it, like I have to reset this entire section and waste like 2 minutes, so hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's the thing about this category is like most of the tricks, if you miss them, it's like not just 5 seconds lost like a lot of categories. It's like you literally lose like 2 minutes, 3 minutes in all of them. But yeah, so that's the same thing he was using earlier to skip death. Big toss, you lose half or more of your HP in a single hit, and he was able to fly across the screen and get to the Garnet, which he's going to use later for a glitch in the shop where you end up just effectively underflowing your money and having infinite of it. Yeah.
I jumped over those stone roses just because for whatever reason coming from the left side you're able to jump over them, like their heads like kind of bob and weave in the right positioning, but coming from the right side it works, coming from the left it doesn't work.
Yeah, their patterns kind of just work out to always be the same, so works out. Alright, so he's pause buffering this very precise level up here so that he can... He's essentially opening a gap between the screen transitions so he can fall through.
I'm equipping a potion so I can invincibility.
Yeah, so
that skeleton would kill me
he spawns in the middle of the screen, but in the floor when he goes through that gap because it's just a really weird screen transition. And he would have gotten hit by the skeleton if it had not been for that potion.
Yeah, I needed a frame-perfect backdash on a specific pixel for that to work.
So with this library card, he was able to skip the second boss of the game, Doppelganger. The first elevator skip was to skip Slogger and Gaibon.
Yep.
And now he is going to next try and get past the fairy card so he can do the shop glitch.
This is a little random. These guys have a random chance of activating a lightning sword, and I just kind of have to train them around until they decide to do it. There's one. I'm going to equip the Alucard mail, because if he hits me, he'll kill me. But the Alucard mail gives you resistance to electricity.
We have the extra healing item too, right?
This is true. So this skip is a lot less scary, because I can fail it once, and yeah, he's just going to be... let me kill this guy. I don't like him. Yeah. It's a kind of a tight window. If I fail it once, I usually just let him like set back up again. There we go. Yep.
Nice.
Ah. So I didn't cancel my landing lag, so I tried shield dashing there, and that's why you saw me just kind of crouching there with the shield. That's just like a small little speed tech thing. Like anytime you land after like taking damage, you cancel it by pulling out the shield really quickly. And I just forgot to do it there. So, and here comes the shop glitch we were talking about.
Yeah. So with this, you pull out the fairy card, and when she speaks, her voice is actually going to interrupt the cutscene that comes up after that. And you're able to pause when you normally can't while the shop window is up. So you're able to equip the garnet while it's being ready to be sold. And you're able to trick the game into thinking like, oh, I'm going to take away this one garnet now to sell from the 0 I have equipped. And it's going to underflow it. So you actually end up having 255 garnets. So you can buy effectively anything in the shop that you want. With that, he's able to buy the duplicator, which is the main thing. He's able to use any reusable items in the game over and over again, which means he can damage boost anywhere and then heal. He can refill mana infinitely with the mana prisms. And it just ends up speeding the run overall significantly by several minutes.
Fire boomerangs, which we're going to see later.
Oh, yeah, we're going to see fire boomerangs once. That's true.
We use it twice.
Oh, twice in this run? Okay.
Yeah, because I use it to get up to the both wolf relics.
Oh, okay, nice. Oh, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, duh. Fire boomerang glitch is really fun.
You can do it to soft lock the game to do. You can do all sorts of fun things.
Yeah,
oh, actually, I use them 3 times because I'm going the wrong way. I got really excited there because I've recently remembered. It's not even like a thing that I learned. I just had to remind myself that if you use enough fire boomerangs, it cancels the animation of collecting a relic, which saves a little bit of time. So I wasn't doing that before. I'll show you if you haven't seen it before. It's kind of similar to how the task like cancels it with a summon spirit. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. All of this movement to get to the top of the elevator was so I can get the wolf relic, which will let me. I was 1 frame off from getting a little clip there, but it's not.
It only says like a couple seconds, whatever.
Well, I mean, I'm on a clock rush anyways, and I'm pretty sure I didn't make it, so it wouldn't save any time.
Yeah.
It would have just been for the swag. But yeah, so right now, we're just kind of going back to the clock room, so there's not really too much to say. The next skip coming up, though, is going to be kind of a mouthful. It's the Minotaur and Werewolf skip. Okay, I do have that equipped. Yeah, the Minotaur and Werewolf skip is... So I'm going to be damage boosting off of an enemy and getting a level up at the same time, and the level up is going to... the damage boost is going to send me flying across the screen, opening up a very big... shift line, and it's one of the only ways to open up a shift line without pausing the screen more than once is by doing a big toss into a level up or a big toss into some sort of screen pausing thing. So there's multiple frames that it can work. I have a handful memorized. I would have printed out like a spreadsheet because there's like 17 combinations or something stupid that actually end up working. But shoutouts to Duskwall for actually routing that out and making it viable. Otherwise, this category, like, you would spend hours on the skip alone just because you were just kind of jumping at the Blade Master hoping that you did like killed him on the right frame, and he's also pushing you along the screen at the right positioning. So
it should be noted, even with that statue closed there, like, this is still the fastest route by far. For this category and pretty much any category where you care about movement with getting the bat.
Yeah, because we have to get the mist, which I need to get it for different reasons than like an any % or an all bosses category, but we're going to be doing a skip later with it. I'm avoiding that max health up, not only because it wastes time, but I want to have a certain amount of health going into the rest of the game because we need to do a couple more big tosses. And if you have too much health, then big tosses won't happen. So yeah, going up to the Coliseum. I'm going to be doing a safety save. Like we said, these tricks are really stupid. So I'd rather have a save ready as opposed to like not. So the Blade Masters give a lot of experience too, which means I have a couple of tries at this before having to like reset that save.
Yeah, like you can have a couple shots where it levels them up on the kill. So
because Blade Masters give like 300 experience or something crazy like that. And I'm extremely under-leveled. That's why they're giving so much experience. And my menus are so cluttered. How much?
Yeah, you don't really need to worry about level ups for any of the other ones. So.
This setup was discovered by Death Squall. Shoutouts to him. That's second frame. I think that's first frame. It was. Okay, good. Got it.
Nice, dude.
And, oh, I got the Super Wolf jump thing afterwards. That doesn't save that much time, but it's cool. That's actually, like, harder than the skip.
So it's actually one of the harder tricks in the run. He saved right before that for a reason.
I'm actually going to save right after, just because I have died in this next room, because I'm an idiot, and I go for this big toss just because it's much easier to get across this next room doing this big toss, but if I screw it up, I'll just die. So I'm just going to save again, and we don't want to go through that whole skip over again, especially after getting it first try.
Yeah, that was crazy, honestly.
Okie dokie. We got... So I'm going to try and big toss off of this guy right here. Hey, we did it.
Nice.
I don't have to deal with these two guys. They run really fast, and they're scary.
While you're being damage boosted off a big toss, you're invincible that entire time you're flying. So anytime there's a slope in your way, you're going to like just go off that slope and go up until you hit a wall.
Yeah, or if you hit a ceiling. Hitting a ceiling is slightly faster because it gives you less recovery frames. But there's no, like, you can't really set it up to hit the ceiling. I've tried in many rooms to switch the damage boosts up so I hit a ceiling, but it just doesn't really work out. But yeah, it's also the fastest form of horizontal movement in the game outside of the Wolf fully powered up, I think. Or maybe it's the same speed as the Wolf fully powered up. Speaking of the Wolf fully powered up, that's what we're doing right now.
What we're aiming to do, because the Wolf fully powered up allows for a charge attack that goes much, much faster than the normal Wolf Dash can go. And
the game wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do the boomerang trick right now.
Yeah, so if you throw enough of these boomerangs on screen and all of them show up on screen, and then you turn into another transformation while jumping, it sustains your jump during the transformation animation, so you end up jumping about as high as a gravity boot would take you. And gravity boot takes a lot longer to get than it does to use this glitch in multiple places.
I tried to do the thing with where it skipped the animation of collecting the thing, but I guess I didn't throw the boomerangs fast enough, so they
the fire boomerangs are incredibly glitchy, so they can do a lot of stuff like that. Like, even if you leveled up off of something with enough fire boomerangs on screen, it just wouldn't stop you during it.
You wouldn't know that you got the level up until you're like, huh, this is different. This next room, or two rooms in general, really suck. The zombies are random, and I just kind of hope that I don't get hit and I jump around like an idiot. So I try to avoid them. I'm using the potion's invincibility, but anytime I just like try and go as fast as I can, the potion's invincibility runs out just as one of them spawns. And you can't really react to it because they have a hitbox before you can really see them. So yeah. It's really annoying. So I take it a little bit safer through here because getting like comboed, like I'm not really worried about dying since I have all these potions, but getting comboed by these guys. Oh, see? Just like that. Where did he come from? Where did he come from?
The Stairmaster zombie, dude. He's there.
It just wastes time, but we're going to be doing the whole fire boomerang thing again. We have to get rid of him first. There we go.
There you go. That's a good one.
And then I equipped a Mana Prism because I might...
So this is Wolf Rising. He is transforming into Mist and then back into Wolf within a couple of frames. So every time you turn into the Wolf, it raises you a little bit on the screen. So he does that in a way that he doesn't ever lose height, and he can just keep going up. And he uses the full mist in different directions so he can get closer to the horizontal point he wants to get.
If I don't do it like within a specific frame, window, I lose mana and then I have to like mana refill. And then lose height.
Remember, he's still at a very low level because he's only leveled up off a couple things from glitches. Normally, when you're getting this relic, you'd be at a much higher level and have a lot more MP. So every time he does a mist, it actually wastes a ton of MP, and that's why he has to like go back and redo his mana prisms and stuff like that.
I don't have a library card.
Huh.
Okay, we're going to go the long way around. We get to see
a cool Wolf Dash.
Yeah. Oh, I'm out of mana.
But you have no mana because every time you hit an enemy, it also wastes your mana.
Nice. Yeah, we'll just go through this way. That's so weird. I don't know. I guess I just forgot to buy one. But it doesn't really change too much of the route. Because what would I be getting from here? I'm just going to
Yeah, I mean,
library.
it's really just a warp at this point. Yeah.
Why do I have this still equipped? Hold on. This is a madhouse. I don't like what's happening here.
The menu boss is the strongest, dude.
Just give me. Oh no! What was I thinking? Yeah. My fastest forward movement right now is using the wolf, so I'll try and use it. Do I have the? Yeah, I do have that other warp open. I think, right?
Yeah.
No,
Well,
yeah.
you have the outer wall one open. Yeah.
No, not the outer wall one, because I only used it to reset the room. So I have the.
Oh yeah, you didn't.
Whatever.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
use it anyways. It's probably still faster. Yeah, it's just gonna take me to All Rox's quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah, not having that library card kind of sucks. I don't know why I. Oh well.
Well, you have the one coming up here.
Which one's this one?
The second place where the floor is open. Oh no, you used that to skip. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you have a long way.
Yeah. So if we have any donations, this might be a good time for that one. I was actually debating, like, I don't need to buy a library card, right? I was, like, messing around earlier, and I guess I convinced myself that I didn't need one when I actually don't know the route, I guess.
All right, we have a $10 donation from RwingPilot114 saying, UFO ending, go UFO Techie. Thanks to everyone involved in this event. First time viewer, donator. Thank you.
Thanks, Techie.
My only fear is that I, like, accidentally clip into the floor and then can't get out. So the whole reason we have, like, all this, like, powerful wolf stuff is because I'm going to be using it to clip into the floor. So essentially when you jump up a slope and untransform as the wolf going full speed, you end up... The game will sometimes, like, calculate where you're supposed to be in the floor. So... Yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing as soon as I get to the live. Oh, wait, hold on.
I don't know what else you would be forgetting at this point.
I have to get past Doppelganger. Can I wolf charge jump up there? And make it all the way up? You think?
That's kind of an issue, isn't it?
This is kind of bad. I do
You
have...
would have to go around through keep. But then you have to damage boost past...
What?
Sorry.
Oh, you're so right. What am I doing? We can mist wolf. This has never
Turbo
happened.
coming in with the clutch.
I've never had to do this before because I'm never this stupid. So this is going to be fun.
You're fine. So yeah, Turbo Dog just came in with the clutch, suggesting the wolf mist as we were doing on the other grab with the wolf relics.
This screen transition is going to be a killer though, because it eats inputs. So
yeah, anytime you screen transition or level up, any inputs you had going before that, it completely kills. So you effectively have to plan around resetting your inputs entirely anytime you come to a screen transition. And it looks like you got it there.
okay, that should be fine for me.
Yeah, and that's actually a lot harder what you just did right there, improv, than it looks, because every time you transform into wolf, there's one frame where you raise, and there's one frame where you stay even with your vertical height. So, effectively, he was just doing a 2-frame trick or better every single time for like 3 straight times there, or more. So that was actually really hard to just randomly do when it's not even in his route.
This game is crazy that you can even, like, save it from this. Honestly. This level up shouldn't matter.
None of these level ups should matter.
I don't have to level up off anything anymore.
Yeah, he has to damage boost off 2 things, but
I'm just gonna wait
none of the HP amounts on that is going to be close enough to where he has to worry.
Okay, so this is where I would have been if I wasn't an idiot and actually had the library card, and I'd just be jumping up here. This game doesn't like me today. Oh my goodness, this is fun though. Okay, let's just go around with invincibility. I like that. I like that idea a lot better. I'm going to be saving here because I don't want to do that again. That whole trek up here, I don't need another library card, do I? Well, it would have been nice to have one, actually, now that I think about it, but we can make do with that one. No, I need one. I'm buying one. I'm not doing this. This is a trap. I'm buying one right now. Because I have to get out of Lesser Demons.
I mean, you have to get out of there, but you
yeah.
have the bat.
Yeah, but then I have to pass through Lesser Demons thing, and then I'd fight him.
Oh yeah, okay.
Actually, having to like skip the boss.
Oh,
is
you can library skip out.
What can I do for you? I'm interested in this.
I don't have enough. That would take longer than this.
Thank you. Farewell.
In case you can't figure out, there's a lot of glitches in this game.
Yeah, I could have done that, but I would have to turn off all the wolf relics. Oh no. This game is awesome. Okay, well, now we're saving. For sure this time.
I like how we can randomly think of like 5 different routes to get out of
So
here.
tell us how you came up with this route. This is originally his idea.
I mean, we... okay, so we came up with this right after Sockfolder discovered reverse shift line, which was actually the first glitch you saw him do to skip Soldier and Gaibon. We initially came up with that, or he initially came up with that for a death skip for any %. But then I was like, wait, what else can you do with this? And the only thing I could think of that was at all beneficial before we figured out how to do it with Dracula was you can skip Slogger and Gaibon. It's like, well, I don't know if skipping the first boss is actually faster, but it looks cool. So let's figure out a category that centers around this. And we eventually figured out that, yes, it's possible to skip every boss in the game besides Dracula.
Right now, I'm just
actually, the optimal any % Dracula skip was figured out for this category before any %, which is kind of funny.
So this category is important. Kind of. Right now, I'm just failing at this skip. It has like a pretty tight frame window for each of the inputs that you have to do. You have to jump twice and then untransform a specific frame. There we go.
There you go. So yeah, you actually need all of the relics for that because if you didn't have the wolf charge, you would not be going at a fast enough speed in order to get through such a tiny slope. Normally, when you see like an any % run or an all bosses run, the wolf skips you doing that without those dashes is a much smaller or a much taller slope than those.
Yeah, that's like barely anything and you're still able to clip through. I'm going to go for one more because it doesn't really save much time, but it's really fun. So let's go for it. I missed it. You could clip into this entire like huge stair section here and it sends you to the bottom of the screen. So, oh, another fun side effect of having the bat now is it retains horizontal momentum really well. So you can just transform into the bat while you're going full wolf speed and it... You're just going fast. It's faster than wing smashing, which is like normally the fast form of movement in this game for like any %. Yeah, from here on out, the route looks actually pretty similar to any %. We're going to be doing similar kind of movement, just with less MP, so it's a little bit more restrained.
Yeah, instead of like a full wing smash chain, you're going to see like, you know, 1 or 2.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I'm actually going to save here just because this category can be really rough. And because I'm such a low level and I have such low stats from doing luck mode, I can die from a lot of enemies, just normal enemies, which wouldn't happen in a normal like run.
Yeah, I mean, you have to remember, every single skip he's doing, he is losing over half his max HP in order to attempt it. So just off of that, like any other thing that touches him, he's probably dead.
In the second castle, I think there's only one enemy that can one-shot me, and that's a Medusa head, and we don't see any in this route. That's a new level up. I've never seen that one.
Okay.
But to be fair, this is so improv that anything that happens from here on out, as long as I finish the run, it's a success.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what your HP count's going to be for Crossamon, but...
Crossamon's fine. He does, I think, like 22.
I thought Medusa is pretty close, though, right?
Medusa is actually pretty lenient. She does like 30 damage.
Okay.
So... And that's with all the armor equipped. Oh, here's a fun little thing that you can do. They didn't program doors very well. I'm going to try it like a couple of times. This is frame perfect, technically.
Isn't it easier the other way?
Is it the other way? Like,
yeah, it's the other way.
What do you mean the other way?
Like backdash into the doorway.
Backdash and then move forward?
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, from there.
I'm confused. You do it.
I do it?
You do it.
Oh, God. Okay. It's from like there. This only saves like 2
there
seconds,
we go, we
by
did
the
it.
way.
Yeah. Doing it the first try would have been like kind of worth it, but it's just worth showing off that they programmed this game really well. So right here, there's a boss, which is kind of a problem. So I'm going to hide in the corner and hope he leaves me alone. He's not leaving me alone. Oh, God.
There you
Okay,
go.
escape,
There you
escape. Get out of here. We did it. So, what is that revenge? That's not revenge taking. What is that half moon, blood moon thing?
It's called half blood. I don't know why it's fucking called half blood.
The name. We've had this conversation before, I think. The people who come up with the names for these tricks are not us. They're like, we have a very active Brazilian glitch hunting community.
Yeah, it's been a glitch hunting community that's been around for like over a decade at this point, well over a decade, and we just totally ignored the Richter skip. Whatever.
That's a pretty normal skip.
Yeah,
compared to everything else.
Compared to everything else, the Richter skip's pretty normal. But anyway, like we have a glitch hunting community that's mostly focused around Brazil. Shouts to them, but they just come up with like these names that we don't necessarily understand. But
hey,
like
they did it.
The skip to get damage boosted through a wall is called Half Blood. The skip to
not get
experience off a boss is called Revenge Tech.
Because
it's just we don't need to understand it. At least we have names for it.
Yeah, it's just part of the charm of running this game. That I didn't know what that was called for such a long time, and I'm like, hey, Romsky, what is this called? Blood, half blood. Don't think about it too much.
But yeah, that Richter skip he did is just him barely clipping through the ceiling at the right angle, so it skips the trigger for the Richter battle, and then it puts it in a state where it is the same as if you had completed the Richter battle. So it calls up the cutscene for that, which he skipped, and then that is able to put you in the second castle when you get past that for the teleporter.
So the same thing I did with Karasmon I have to do here, but I have to lure Medusa into the corner. This one also requires some manipulation of my invincibility, so...
Yeah, at least Medusa's AI is very easy to manipulate, so it's not really a problem for her to go back into the corner with you.
Yeah, if I mistime that, I'm dead, because, like, that's a little scary. From here on out, level ups don't matter, because I don't have to do anything except
at this point, he is only using a heart refresh to skip the rest of the game, but...
A couple different heart refresh skips.
Right.
But, yeah. The heart refresh is probably like the most well-known broken item in the game. A lot of people know about using it to just kind of like do whatever you want.
Yeah,
it's the choose your own adventure item.
Just as a reference, the max inbounds percent map of this game is 200.6, but also is really cool what you do with the pad. But
yeah, the hitbox for that opening that up is like really very, very lenient. So I came up with that setup. I think the task did it, so I didn't actually come up with it.
I see. But yeah, so 200.6% is the max inbounds map. You can actually get up to 453% map in this game, though.
Or if you play on PSX, you can just save corrupt.
Infinitely get map, yeah. But yeah, for without memory corruption, the game actually can track up to 453% map. It actually counts all of the out of bounds map as a tile that counts towards your percentage. I don't know why that is, but they knew somebody would get out there eventually, I guess.
You can actually use that to your advantage in the PSX version, which has a third outer wall for some reason. It's just like it's like a glitched version of the outer wall that's in like the top right-hand corner of the map. If you were to like open the map up, it's really cool. This game is special. For whatever reason, something to do with how the game loads itself, it got accidentally patched out in the Xbox version because the Xbox loads areas a little bit differently.
Yeah, I mean, we do know the Xbox version is a little bit of a sketch port based on the frog hitboxes, but yeah.
Oh, man.
All right, so if you remember back to when he did the Slogger and Gaibon skip, he did a level up and backdashed out of it and shifted the screen in a way that he was able to like kind of reverse his position on the screen, so he did a screen skip. He's going to do the same thing here, but on the screen skip, he's actually going to have to turn into bat at the right timing because naturally the game zips you downwards to a ceiling, and the screen transition puts you in a ceiling. So he times the bat transformation so that it suspends him above the ceiling, and he's able to skip into the final save ring, and that's what lets him get to the final section here of Dracula.
Thankfully, there's a heart refresh right there. Otherwise, this category
Otherwise,
would be
this
really
would
dumb.
not be. Yeah, this would be a really dumb thing.
So
to do.
I'm gonna explain this while it's happening because we have a lot of time coming up, like a minute,
a couple
or
minutes.
yeah, something like that. And hopefully, I don't screw it up because then we have to wait even longer. So double heart refresh lets you do a lot of weird things. I'm just setting up a front slide that's close to frame perfect just to make this a little bit quicker. But yeah, if you want to try and explain this while I count, that's number 2.
So yeah, you want me to explain the screen grab? Okay.
Explain something.
Yeah. So like,
4.
with these other shift line glitches, he's moving towards the screen and it either opens up a screen transition or kind of like overlaps his position on what the screen transition should be. But in this case, it kind of opens up the screen transition but also puts him where it is. So, and the way you end up doing this is by using several heart refreshes with forward movement.
The task is able to do it in 16. I do 20 just to be safe.
Yeah, it's able to open up the screen because he starts out, I think, like what, couple screen lengths from the screen transition if it was all the way to the left, and then it ends up placing him inside that gap. And conveniently, in this case, the trigger for the Dracula battle is actually just hanging out of bounds somewhere on the left there.
Oh, no.
Upwards. Oh, you missed it?
Yeah,
Okay.
we get to do it again, though.
Yeah, it's fine. We're still explaining it, so it all works out.
It's
this
so
thing
complicated.
Is ridiculous.
So how I fell into the floor there, instead I'd be in the wall to the left, and I can't actually do the skip from the floor. I have to be in the wall and not fall into the floor, so it's a little finicky how that ends up working out.
But yeah, there is a loading trigger for the final Dracula battle, out of bounds on the left, pretty high up. I don't know why, but I guess they're in the original Japanese version of the game, like you could actually skip Shaft, which is the boss that's supposed to come before Dracula, just by dashing into his room the right way and having a load trigger there. So I guess they just moved the load trigger out of bounds to try and fix that. But with this glitch, you end up calling it up anyway, and that's all meaningless.
I'm focusing. I don't want to drop this again because it takes forever.
So the way he's able to call up heart refreshes frame by frame like this is that he maps it to 2 different buttons, and you can buffer the inputs on any of these screen pauses. They're either level up, heart refresh, grabbing a relic, anything like that, and the next button can be buffered. So he's actually alternating these 2 different equipped heart refreshes on different buttons, so he can chain them back to back to back, wall and dash animation.
Yeah, the scary part is just forgetting to switch over because you're just so bored. You're just like...
Yeah, you just lose track of like which one you're pushing at any given frame. Yeah.
Pretty much, and that's what happened last time. And I have like 4 more to go, so we're in there. I think it's like, how many seconds per animation? Like 4 or 5?
4.5.
4.5. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so if I was able to do it in 16, I'm not going to try and do math while doing this, but it still takes like quite a few. Like the task is like 16 or 15 minutes long, and like this is like a big portion of it. So this should be it. Yep, we're in there.
Nice.
So I just have to not fly too far left.
Yeah,
until
if he flies
now.
too far left early, then it won't get this trigger, but he did it perfectly, so yeah, he has skipped every boss
This is
in
the
Symphony
first-
at Night except for the last one.
Except for Dracula bosses.
The no Dracula percent.
Only Dracula.
Or,
No Dracula would
I'm
be-
sorry.
No, you're good.
No Dracula. I don't even
Any-
know how you do that. Let's figure that out next.
We can, probably. Oh, that's called memory save corruption. Calling up the credits.
Oh!
And that's
Well,
it, guys. We did it.
You saved, right?
We didn't kill Dracula. That's none of the bosses. We've done it. That is time. And that is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. The only thing that's different there, like I planned that out. The only thing that's different is just I kill him, and it takes like a couple extra seconds. It's not very interesting. That is more interesting. So.